I guess it's kind of ironic. Digital Foundry really destroyed a lot of Xbox fans this current generation, and I have to say, when I was an Xbox fan earlier in the generation, it really kind of ticked me off when they come out and say stuff, and it was pretty obvious that they're just kind of doing their job. But in doing their job, it really hurt Xbox, in my opinion, and a lot of times that was the driving force behind a lot of the fanboy stuff that was going on at the time. And it seems like things haven't exactly changed that much. Microsoft was really depending on the power narrative and that kind of stuff, and now it looks like that's completely gone. Where does this leave Xbox? Digital Foundry is very much clear on a lot of points that Xbox fanboys were hoping would actually help propel the Xbox Series X, and now it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. This could be some bad news for Xbox, but what's bad for Xbox is great for PlayStation 5, and I'll elaborate on that as well. Hey, what's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. You know, a lot of people ask how you can support a small channel like mine, and I always tell you the easiest thing to do is just simple like. That's the best thing you can do, and I definitely do appreciate that. With that being said, I really do appreciate all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. If you're checking out the content, it means the world to me. I've enjoyed the interaction and stuff like that. Everything is off the cuff, unscripted, and my own personal thoughts and opinions all the way around. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that aspect of the content. I do daily content, so you want to hit the bell so you're notified of everything. It's super important because YouTube doesn't always like to announce or let people know when something comes out. So with that being said, we know that the Xbox Series X is a powerful console. PlayStation 5, powerful console. The PlayStation 5, however, isn't really hyping up the power. They're not really kind of going that way with the power situation. They're not like, well, we've got the most power ever and 12 T-flops and all this kind of stuff. Microsoft are the ones that are really touting the power, and I always said that was a really kind of a mistake because the power stuff comes and goes, okay? Like the power narrative, that comes and goes, folks. I'm just going to be real with you. We keep seeing these situations where, you know, the power stuff comes up, and on Microsoft, to be fair, they did a good job even with the Xbox One X, but that sold terribly because they lacked the content to actually take advantage of it. Plus, you can play all their games better on PC. Does that sound familiar? So Digital Foundry was talking about the NVIDIA GeForce RTX new cards, the 3080s and the other ones as well, and basically completely annihilate everything that Microsoft is trying to do. I personally do not care about PCs, okay? I personally just do not care about PCs. It's not something that interests me. If people like doing PC stuff, I get it. But apparently even the lower end card is something that realistically, you know, that's just what they're doing, okay? So for me personally, Microsoft puts them in a bad spot with the Xbox Series X, and even Digital Foundry is sort of on board with this because Microsoft was touting power. We thought we were going to get a generation or a new generation that was going to launch where the consoles would be ahead of the PCs, and that's not exactly the case. So you might go, well, CG, if Xbox Series X is kind of DOA because of the power situation with these new cards, what about the PS5? The PS5. You mean the thing that is the PlayStation, which is known for their exclusive games? Yes, that's what's going to keep people involved with the PlayStation 5, the exclusive games. Even people that love PCs are going to get a PlayStation 5 to play the exclusive games, and that is a huge difference. I feel like with all the stuff that's going on right now, listen, I still personally, if you want to ask me though, I think that both these consoles are still worth getting no matter what, because you're going to get everything included in the box for like $500. If you want to put together a PC, even with their cheapest card, it's going to be $500. You need more than just that. So you're still talking probably close to $1,000, and that's without like a mouse and keyboard or controller or monitor, things like that. So I personally feel like it's still an incredible value for both of these consoles, in my opinion personally, but I also completely understand where a lot of people would want to even surpass what the Series X is going to do and have a little bit more control in that situation. And so that's exactly what we're kind of facing right now, is this weird kind of strange situation where these things came out of nowhere, and they're talking about the performance architecture and things like that, and they're measuring the metrics, and I just feel like what they were able to accomplish with that, not only were what they were able to accomplish with that, but we also saw DLS 2.0 and dynamic resolution and things like that. And now this is something that is a little bit of a good news for next generation consoles, is because both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 support machine learning. And so we even saw how in the use of DLSS, you could actually see a clearer image up close when it's magnified, using that with something that's not actually 4K versus something that is natively 4K, which was good news. But for Microsoft, I feel like now they have a heck of a time trying to explain how they're going to really accomplish anything next gen, because at the same time, you have Sony, who are really kind of saying, come experience our console. We're really going to immerse you. We're going to immerse you with our solid state drive, with our DualSense controller. It's completely revamped. It's going to totally put you in the game. We have exclusives that you're going to really feel. You're going to be a part of these worlds. We're also going to be doing VR. We're doing all these great things for you to experience, right? So they're doing all these things, and then you look on the Xbox side, and Xbox is like, well, you can play your old games, and some of them are going to play better. And that's not exactly a great pitch. And Digital Foundry as was pretty, didn't have much mercy when it came to that, And I just feel like I really enjoyed sort of just listening to it and kind of the talking. And again, a lot of Xbox defenders will say, well, there's a difference. And, if you're a PC gamer, then you're not going to worry about what this and things like that. But I just think that it really does kill the narrative of T-flops and things like that, because these things are so much more advanced than the Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series X doesn't have any exclusives. There's like zero reason, even less reason, to buy one. Like, if I was just an Xbox fan right now, and I just had the money to do so, I would probably just use some of these cars and build a PC. I'm not a PC guy, but that would be seemed to me the better option, because if you think about it, there could be a Series X 2.0 or something in a few years, right? Or an upgrade like they did with the Xbox One X. And you're talking about over $1,000 at that point. If you want to count how much money I spent on Xbox consoles alone this generation, let me think. 15, 19, 20, 22, 23, about $2,400 plus tax, because I bought an Xbox One day one for $500, two One X's at $500 a piece, that's $1,500, and two S's at $400. I think those were $399. I could be wrong, but I believe when those first came out, they were $399, and I bought them full price. So you're looking at about $2,400, and you could, if they're just going to continue to do the upgrade thing, then what's the point? You might as well get PC and play games for free online, because if you think about that, right, you're paying $60, well, more than that. Let's assume they're not going to make gold free on the console. You have to pay at least $100 to $180 a year to play gold now, right? Like, you either get Game Pass Ultimate for $180 a year, or you have to buy it $10 a month, which means it's $120 a year, or you buy it in 3-month increments, which makes it $100 a year. So either way, in 3 years' time, you're adding another $300 onto whatever you're paying. So that could be, it all adds up, and it's incredibly expensive. Whereas if you built yourself a PC, there is no cost of that online and things like that. So, plus they're actually putting exclusives on the PC, which is such a weird thing to me, that they're trying to win PC gamers over more than they are trying to win the console gamers over, that they've completely screwed over for an entire generation. So I find that to be quite humorous, and at the same time a little bit sad. I really do wish that they would have done a better job of getting people excited for the content and get excited for the console and things like that. Honestly, I feel like they've done a really poor job so far, and I really do hope that they kind of come back and do something to really impress people. But again, this is damning news for PlayStation, or for Xbox fans. PlayStation, I hope they double down on their exclusives, right? That's what's going to be something that really helps them out, is the fact that the PlayStation consoles are well known for their exclusives and things like that, and that ecosystem. Thank goodness for that, and thank goodness that so many people bought a PS4, so it's going to be super easy for them to just be able to go and upgrade to the PlayStation 5. I feel like that's going to be key. I feel like that in terms of Xbox, I'm not sure what's going on, but I just get the feeling deep in the pit of my stomach that Xbox is actually going to be relatively done after this generation in terms of their consoles and console creation and things like that. I think Xbox for sure will live on as an app, It'll probably be on TVs and phones and, you know, or maybe even other consoles, but I just feel like they were totally horrendously underprepared for this generation, and you know, it's really going to end up kind of hurting them as time goes on. And now you don't even have the power narrative, because at least you could go, well, you know, the Series X is more powerful than most people's PCs. Like, is that even going to be the case going in? I don't think so. You know, they're not horribly underpowered, but they don't have anything that separates themselves from the pack, and that's going to be big trouble for them. I will link this in the description below. You guys can check it out. Let me know what you think. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending time watching one of my videos. It means the world to me. Like, share, subscribe. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. As always, Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.